We are back here on Girl Talk, and we are having a wonderful day today. Once again, we're at Coastal Home with our guest host. Lisa Richardson has joined us too, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and it's been fun kind of chatting. We're learning that you both have sixth graders at the Christian Academy. They all participate. So talk to us a little bit about what you do.
Absolutely. I think I have the most incredible, awesome job. FCA is a national, it's actually international, largest sports ministry in the world. So what that means, it's a faith-based organization. And we use the platform of athletics. I think it's safe to say that we're in an athletic crazed nation.
Yes.
So many kids participate in sports, not even through schools, but through clubs and recreations. So our goal is to teach the kids the heart and soul of sports. And what that means is we look and we train up student athletes to be leaders, peer leaders on the field, on the courts, and in their schools.
Lisa, what does that actually look like?
Well, we, each morning, and first of all, I want to say proudly that as of this month, we have presence in all of the high schools and middle schools, and not just Beaufort County, Hampton and Jasper. We're South Coastal FCA, and so we cover those 3 counties, and we work within all the schools, with the coaches, with the athletic directors, and with the students.
With the intent of?
With the intent of training those students up to be leaders for the others, meaning good faith-based Christian leaders. How do I overcome peer pressure at this time? How can I stand out and do the right thing and be cool about it? So we use, it's a faith-based organization, so we use Christian character traits, and we teach them integrity and respect and teamwork and service, and how to really stand out, not just on the field with athletics, but as a good person.
Day to day.
Day to day with my character, because at some point I'm not going to be on a team anymore, and my athletic career is going to be over. So how can I be a winner off the field as well?
Well, Steve and Aaron, you both have sixth graders who do attend. What is the feedback from your kids?
Well, I know my son, he just started going the last 4 months, and he's like, there'll be great like little movies, messages. I think Tim Tebow was on there talking one time about something, and then they'll have a great prayer. So, but it also teaches them, like what I notice is my son plays hockey also, and so if he knocks somebody down, he's like, first thing he's making sure, okay, you're okay. Everything he does, and so the whole approach does give that base to everything they do. Yes, they're competing, but they're also respecting one another and making sure
treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yes. Exactly.
That's what we talk about. Aaron and I talk about it all the time.
And they also have the student athletes speaking, correct?
That's the key. It's a student-led ministry.
Oh,
so
I love that.
we train the students and we teach them, and then they go out and they're the role model for their peers. And so that's where the big influence comes in. And we do that in a number of ways. Like you mentioned, any given morning at any of the schools. My area is Hilton Head and Bluffton. So I have the awesome opportunity to work within the schools every day. This morning before I came here, I was over at 2 of the schools in Bluffton and spent an hour in both and worked with the students. And we had 100 students come together before school started. And this student leaders, they did a little devotion, they did a little fun warm-up game, they have Chick-fil-A, so I have time to get to meet new people, and they learn just, how to a good Christian character trait.
Well, let me ask you a question. Can anyone participate in that?
Anyone
How does
can
that
participate.
work?
You don't have to be an athlete currently, because they may play sports later. And besides the morning school huddles, which we call them huddles because that's the athletic term, we also do a lot with the sports teams after school. And what that means is we might, we'll find leaders on the basketball team or the football team to take some time before practice and say, hey, we're going to take 10 minutes and we're going to do a little team study. We're going to learn about some good character traits today. And this is all with the coach's approval and permission, and it's all voluntary. And so there again, we're building good character on the team. We're teaching them more than the wins and losses. What's beyond the wins and losses? And so we walk alongside those student leaders, the coaches, and we help encourage them and train them. And I'll spend an afternoon with one of the teams, and I might talk to them and do a devotion, or I might teach them to pray, and they'll get together and they're just getting in a circle and holding hands and just encouraging one another. And it's really powerful to see that happening and see the students taking the initiative to do it.
What I noticed the most too is my son, 6th grade, but then the older kids are taught, and all of a sudden it's like, because they have this, look up to these kids, and all of a sudden they're in that field. We're like, oh, they're actually talking to me. They're talking, and then now he's walking around school. He's talking to, every time you see him, they're like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's this going? You know, so now they have this thing where they didn't have before, where they're talking with other older students that have already been down some of the paths.
And there's
Now,
the peer
your-
leadership.
Right, both your kids go to Hilton Head Christian Academy. What about some of the other schools that are more non-denominational? How does it work then?
Well, we are in all, like I said, all the middle and high schools,
Right.
public and public, about 27 public schools in those 3 counties.
so amazing.
And 9 private schools. So
Right.
there's really not any school in Hilton Head or Bluffton that's not represented with FCA. And it's really exciting besides the school and the students, we're working with the coaches.
See, that's
and we have
amazing.
coaches studies, we call Coaches Huddle in the morning. We've got at Hilton Head High, Bluffton High School,
Yes.
Beaufort, all over. And that is this coaches getting together, and they're taking the time to learn, hey, how do I be a better coach?
Right.
It's more about just winning. It's more about the scoreboard. It's building good character in these students. So when they're off the field, what are they going to take away? How can they be better future parents? How can they have better relationships? So the coaches we're training the coaches, and then the hope is the coaches are going to be influencing their team, because let's face it, in today's time, the coach, when the coach says, you do it, right?
That's right.
And a lot of the kids today, their home life is maybe not stable. They have a lot of things going on, and so the coach is often
Serving as mentors.
They're a mentor, right?
And
Yeah.
we've got about 30 seconds before
Okay.
we have to scoot. So any last words that you want to share with us?
Yeah, we're always doing some exciting things. You know, we're tapped into the Carolinas region and the national network. So we have connections with professional athletes in the NFL, professional coaches, and we have a lot of opportunity to come down here, because guess what? Everyone wants to come
Yes,
to Hilton
Hilton
Head.
Head is the
So we
place.
get these guys in our schools, and if they can hear from a professional athlete, we're working on some guys from the Clemson football team to come down
Awesome.
soon. So we're putting these kids in our schools, and what a great influence. And we do that through camps and special community events on top of all the year-round school
Well,
activities.
it's a
that
treat
we
to
do.
see you, and she
Yeah.
occasionally gets to host on WHHI.
I sure do.
So it's
It's
all great.
awesome.
This is
And,
the whole family of WHHIers
Yeah, and so
today.
tonight I get to go and interview Karina Smirnoff on location. She's coming and talk about a sport. Ballroom
That
dancing
sounds
is a
great.
hit.
That sounds great. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you all for joining us. Enjoy your week here on Girl Talk. Bye-bye.